So I came on here to give my 2 cents about a lot of things, really, but mainly the Kylie Pitts incident or of her becoming viral. I have not seen her videos. I've just seen reaction videos and things like that in response to the large amount of following she gained over it and everything else. And I saw she was a white woman, blonde hair, and I kind of understood where everything was going. Now, this one TikToker that got a lot of reactions and response in a short period of time for her reaction to Kylie Pitts following and buying a home and a car, I think that's what she did, was that a lot of people in her comments were saying that she and a lot of black people are victims. Like, we have victim mentality when it comes to why certain other races or certain other people, can find it so easy to get a following and to get cashed out really quickly from social media platforms or just in life in general. Because we have to realize that even when you're on a platform, we are still talking about life in general. How white people have privilege over black people does not make black people who bring it up and want to speak about it a victim. It makes them knowledgeable of the fact that it's a real thing. Years ago, if we remember Omarosa, when she did an interview and she said that white women can be mediocre in pretty much anything and still gain the attention of people so quickly, as opposed to black women that have to be extraordinary to even succeed and to make it in life. Like, you have to be above average. And while that's no big thing, because black people naturally, and black women especially, naturally have the gift and the magic, black girl magic, it's so important to realize that mediocrity can fly through the roof way before the glowing, beautiful, talented, educated black women that stand up for themselves, that make names for themselves, that provide for their families and do all these things on their own, or even with a partner, that have just overcome the odds. And it's not wrong to be upset by the fact that someone basically doing nothing can gain the attention and the attraction so easily. So, I wanted to speak on that because I don't have a large following, but in real life, I stand up for myself, and I never felt in any way that I'm a victim of anything being a black woman. If I go to a job, I feel like I'm just as qualified as anyone else. If I'm there and they're there, then there's nothing about them that makes me think that, they have some advantage over me. I've never been raised that way. I never pretty much lived the life of being a victim to thinking that they have a certain privilege over me as a white person, but also just acknowledging that it can be a factor. But still, like I said, my influence, my education, my mannerisms, just how I carry myself and what I know, and what even brings me to whatever job or whatever field or whatever event or whatever function that I'm attending that makes me feel like I deserve to be in that place, is all I need to feel accepted there. So, like I said, I don't ever think I feel that way, but I get the sentiment. There are many black people who are struggling to find their place, who have struggled many years to make a living, to just provide in the way that some other races, as such as white people, have been just given that. And to take it and to feel victimized is no different than a white person that came from money and came from privilege, ending up being on drugs or still feeling like they didn't have a good life, even though you came from a better place in life than someone else. So there's no difference than a black person, feeling slighted for their place in life just as you wouldn't want anyone to make you feel any different if you so happen to fall victim to circumstances in life. So that mentality is no different, as well as, like I said, there are many black people that make good livings for themselves and have rised above, what we've been accustomed to and what our great grandparents and, ancestors had to endure in the past. Like a lot of us now, we're, second and third, possibly generation of graduates, high school, college graduates, and it's just, sometimes, or for most of us or some of us, the period of immediate struggle is a lot further back than others, but that doesn't make it any different. There's nothing different than a person that doesn't rise above that as well. And if you leave it to me, I would say that most white people, if you walk past them in the street, you drive next to them in the car, you stand next to them in line, I feel like white people already have like a scared or, a standoffish mentality towards black people, because even to me, in the back of their mind, they know that there will be a time, and that there's come a time that even though there are those that still feel victimized by what we've endured, there are a lot that have risen above that, who have risen above that, and that you are intimidated every day. You live in fear every day of the possibility of not knowing that if you encounter someone and you get into an altercation or make them upset, not knowing if that's a person a black person that would lash out on you, or if that was a black person that would take your life. Like, you live in that type of fear every day because you're not knowing what type of person you may encounter, because it could still be there. The trauma of the life that a lot of black people have endured, that we have endured in this country and in the past, is still there. No matter whether we made a good life for ourselves or not, it's still there. And so you live in the fear of, I can't look at them. Like, it's always funny to me, because I think about it, like when you're driving the car, like white people drive like straight ahead. They don't look to the left or to the right. And I'm not saying they do this just because they're following the road laws. Like, literally, they live their life like not making eye contact on a regular basis with black people, looking nervous and afraid, because you know what you come from. So to say that someone is being a victim because they feel like you have it better, you should just accept it. You should just live your life in the most freeing way you know how to, because you do come from privilege, and you have no control over the way that a black person will take the life that they've grown up with. You have no control over it. So either you can just continue to be afraid, you can continue to be upset if you want to, or you can continue to ignore it like most do. But it's not going to change the fact that it's still very much so our right and our place to be either offended and upset, or even a victim if we want to be, if we have had that type of life, to be given grace for that. Either way, there's nothing you can take away from the lifestyle that black people have lived, or the life that they made for themselves, in spite of the way that they've been treated in the past. So that's my 2 cents on it. I hope you guys have a great day. I mean, it's so much to say when it comes to just living life today and moving past what we've known life to be, but still just being bold and strong, and just being our best selves, and never feeling victimized, but also never making anyone feel coddle them in any way for our feelings, because you're validated in any way that you choose to be. Y'all have a great day.